Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. When ego erases, we understand God is the doer and man becomes liberated. And ego dies when vasanas, that old tendencies, the past momentum gets erased. They are interdependent. And this vasanas die away only when grace of God descends on our jiva. And grace of jiva is dependent on how much you love God, how much you have been able to exercise sanyama, withdrawal from the world, and give yourself to God. A shift. You are shifting from world to the spiritual world. So, whole thing, where do you begin? Calling on God, doing japa, dhyana, singing the names and glories of God. From there, small worship of the God. Little by little you advance. Then you start studying the literature written by the realized souls, saints who have been recognized by everyone as a saint. The sainthood is certified not by people or a body of intellectuals. The avatars and realized souls, saints are recognized by those who are realized souls, enlightened souls identify. Sri Ramakrishna was an incarnation of God, was first identified by Bhairavi Brahmani. She was well versed in all aspects of Hinduism and was expert in Tantras and Vaishnavism, and a realized soul who had come to teach Sri Ramakrishna these paths to God, the path to absolute perfection, to be enlightened. Who can make another jiva enlightened, you see? What must be her capacity to teach the incarnation of God? Totapuri Maharaj. They all who came as gurus, they accepted him as the incarnation of God and the divine play going on, and they knew themselves to be the Leela Sahcharas, bowed down at the feet of the disciple. Even before the gurus came, so many realized souls used to flow through that path. Rani Rasmani has built a temple in such a way, in such a place on the bank of Ganga, that people going to pilgrims going here, there, to North India, to the four dhams, to Vrindavan, and all have to pass through that region. And there, everyone, almost all people who would pass through those regions from the west and north, it is eastern part, whoever is to be going towards that, used to stay there In those days, proper vehicles were not there, like present day. You can go from anywhere to anywhere within short time. It was not like that. Even our childhood days, to go from one state to another state, it used to take days, long journey on foot, here, there, through the hilly regions and all, you have to go by foot. There was no roads made. Britishers had made many of the conveniences roads. Before Britishers came, it was still worse. Britishers were first people to do the entire India, every bit of India under the survey. Even today, all survey stones throughout the world, throughout India, every corner of the world and every corner of this India, in the remotemost villages and in forests, thick forests, the stones put them and identified and survey map written is still today same thing is working. We have not see our survey of this ashrama. Now it is done. The survey was done by the Britishers. After that, nobody ventured to do again. What map they had written down, what the survey department of India of those days, Britishers rule was done. Every temple they have identified. Every tree, major tree, here is this tree, here is this tree. Identification. I was in Madhya Pradesh. The whole region, you can, in the forests, forest identification. The whole village is measured from one major point. That is the main stone of the village. From there, all the distances to individual house, this, that, everything is. Every mile distance, you will see at least 100 stones are put as the identification. To that extent, border of India, everything was done by them. So we had another system of our own before that, which was not geometrically so much clear and perfect. But still, each border, it was mainly dependent on the rivers. River were the identification points. A country separated from the other, mostly with the river sharing on either side, and certain hills, hill identification. Now, whole of Bangalore, the main distance measuring stone is there in Nandi Hills. All distances, any complication comes, any fighting comes, measurement is taken directly from Nandi Hills, top point. So, all you can see how much they have devoted and struggled in those days when vehicles were not there, and people had to walk through the forests to go from place to place. And every door was open. Anywhere you can ask for food, water. So those were the days. Why did this topic came? So people used to stay There, people used to come there. All enlightened soul used to just like they used to, oh, here is this person whom we were worshipping all through, and especially the enlightened souls, oh, whom we saw as God, whom we realized as God, whom by realizing whom we became free from this nature, is here in this body now. They will talk to him personally. Lord, you are here in this form. Offer their respects and love. These were the people, enlightened people, telling, not the intellectuals or sadhakas even. No, enlightened souls. When Keshav and all these people, Girish Chandra Ghosh, used to tell our incarnation of God, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell them, oh, what do these people know about God? They are telling incarnation of God, as if they know God intimately. They don't even know who is God. They are speaking about incarnation of God. Before these people came, so many enlightened souls came, silently expressed their feelings and went away, silently. Oh, you are in disguise. Just like we meet a king, suddenly some people recognize he is king. They don't want to disclose. They just go and whisper in his ears, "Oh king, you are here. I recognized you," and go away. Like that. The king, most of the times, at least weekly once or twice, the king will be on silent disguise, moving about in his country. Even on spies they don't depend upon. After spies give some information also, they check first hand and silently go and see. Some people may hide the truth, because what to tell about this to the king? Something is happening somewhere, why to tell this to king? He is looking after the whole country, nation, why should we disturb? Many feel, but it is responsibility of the king to know every bit what is happening in the country and outside. So in disguise he moves about, and few people recognize. He may go as beggar, he may go as a lame person, but there are people who identify him. Once when Shivaji was going in disguise, he was in the dress of a beggar, mendicant, asking for alms. One lady comes to give the alms and says, "Shivaji, आप मेरे घर आ गए, अंदर एक पैर रख के जाना. Please come inside. You have come up to here. Why don't you keep your feet inside?" And he smiles and goes away. So there are people. So these people recognize the incarnations. These people recognize the saints. Otherwise, what expression will they give? They become like child after realizations. Saints are just like children, small child. We become liberated once he knows God is the doer. Once Keshav came here with Shambhu Malik. I said to him, not even a leaf moves except by the will of God. Where is man's free will? All are under the will of God. Nangta was, that is, the one who taught Advaita Vedanta. I experienced Nirvikalpa, who took the master to that level, highest realization. What was his? Totapuri Maharaj. So he used to be, most of the times he used to be naked, like a child. Without clothes he used to move about. So Thakur used to call him Nangta. Nangta means one who is unclad. Was a man of great knowledge. Great knowledge means unimaginable. He has come to teach Advaita Vedanta, give experience to Sri Ramakrishna. He is going to give him the ultimate, supreme knowledge of God, the impersonal absolute, the ocean itself. Sri Ramakrishna had seen all aspects of manifestation of God. He had seen all types of waves. Now, Totapuri has come to take him to the bottom of the ocean and show him what real ocean is. What are the forms you have seen are waves of this ocean. Let me show you the ocean. To show the ocean, the impersonal absolute, Totapuri has come. And you can imagine his knowledge. And about him is telling, Nangta was a man of great knowledge, yet even he was about to drown himself in Ganges. He stayed here 11 months. At one time, he suffered from stomach trouble. The excruciating pain made him lose control over himself. He wanted to drown himself in the river. There was a long shawl near Betghat, shawl, Shol, near Batghat. However far he went into the river, he could not find water above his knees. Then he understood everything and came back. Everything in the footnote is given. He realized that man is not free even to kill himself, that everything depends upon the will of the Divine Mother. Here, for the first time, he gets the clear understanding, first-hand information, first-hand experience of the Divine Mother. What is Divine Mother? What he rejected as Maya, he accepted as the Divine Mother now, in this incident. So, even after, realization, enlightenment is, everything is all right. Buddha was enlightened. So many enlightened souls were there. But they can never be equal to the incarnations or God. They are one with God. They know intimately God. But the powers of God, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, to give mukti to people, they can't give. They can take upon themselves the sufferings of others, take away their karma and work out themselves, but they don't have the power to erase the karma of anybody. Enlightened soul. Otherwise, people like Buddha would have given mukti to all and gone away. Saints love and how they weep for the suffering mankind. Unimaginable. They are free, but they are not able to remove the suffering of anyone. After realization also, they can show the path. See, I have walked through this path, you can also walk and get freedom. get realization. But I can't help. So realize soul also. And you see, like Naren, after Nirvikalpa, Thakur says, I have locked your realizations. You have to do the mother's work. Once the work is finished, I will give back to the key. Even after realization, even after enlightenment, he is mukta, but still he is under the jurisdiction of Divine Mother. He is free, but Mother can bind him and keep in the world again for the welfare of others. How many saints are there who want to go and merge, but Mother is not leaving them? No, my child, I have given you so much of freedom, realization. Now you work for me a little. You will not be bound by karma. You will not be bound by your actions. You are free. You are mukta. Why don't you work for these people who are suffering? So, even then, after realization also, she can put him in the world of Maya and get the work done. If the Maya is not put, he doesn't work. What for? He is seeing one. He is Ananda Swarupa and he is seeing the world is nothing but God. Does God need anything? That veil is put back. He sees the suffering mankind. He starts weeping. He runs about to remove the suffering of mankind. So this one goes on and on. The two parallel movements, one of the realized, one of the bound, go together. The Shishya Parampara and Guru Parampara moves one after the other eternally, just like the creation, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya goes on and on. With that, jivas come, jivas move, and jivas go. The path to go back to the source is shown by the Divine Mother through the enlightened souls. Path to bring them into the creation, Mother does by herself. She doesn't need anybody to help. But she wants these realized souls to guide the others, to make them move further. This is the most important part the God plays, and God Himself incarnates time and again to fulfill these demands of God, people, jivas. Not even a leaf moves except with the will of God. Where is the man's free will? One of the best examples Sri Ramakrishna gives is, you are in the prison house. Within the prison house you are free to move about. Some people will be chained even within the jail, prison house, like Krishna's father and mother were not only put in the prison house but were chained inside the prison house. They should not escape. Similarly, there is vaster and vaster region. Another example Sri Ramakrishna gives is the cow. Cow has freedom, but it is tied to a pole. It can graze, move about and graze within that circle of the rope. When it finishes all the grass there, the master will go and tie it to another tree or extend the rope little more. It has freedom within that rope. Jiva has freedom within certain limits. But the Jiva, for humans, having given that freedom, has given the responsibility also. You will be responsible for your actions till you realize the truth. You have been given freedom. With freedom, the responsibility also. You will be responsible for your action. Good for good, bad for bad. As you sow, so you reap. So karma, the karma law, it binds him. Freedom is there, you can do anything, but be prepared to experience the consequences. Karma phala and vasana is going to come along with you. So that much freedom is there. That freedom is given by God. Your freedom is within the limits of God. He can pull the rope, make it short for the cow. He can release but it is always tied. With the long rope or short rope, it is tied. It is in the prison. So there we see will of God. Individual will is subject to the will of God. You cannot live as you want, wherever you want, even now in this country or any country. You must have a permission from government. You cannot go and occupy any place and start staying there. In those days, in the king's time, you can go to the forest and put up a hut and stay there. You can grow your own things and stay there, live there. Now you can't. Everything is governed, everything is regularized. You are under the government. You can't do anything. Especially if you go to the Western countries, India is still having lot of freedom. You can build your house as you want. You can change your house as you want. Only thing, you must possess that land. And that also, not such a strict rules, but just to take formal permission to build a house and internal things and all, you do your own way. But it is not so in other countries. To change a bulb within the house, you must take permission. You can't build house in your own style. All the houses in a locality will be of the same type. Anything happens anywhere, they know whereabout of every bit of things. Almost all buildings are wooden. Anything because of the earthquake and all that, they build it. And extreme weather, cold and heat, to withstand that, they build wooden houses. And anywhere fire accident, whole locality will go away. And every house, there must be heating system, because winter will be very cold. There must be heating system, central heating system. Otherwise it becomes very difficult to survive. And this causes fire, it can fire anything. The moment anything happens, they have the total know-how, where is what has happened where, and they can bring under control. So they don't allow smallest things to change. Everything must be certified and must be like that. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.